Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. You're watching Sid's Life. I'm Sid, this is my life. That is cheesy, but we're gonna roll with it anyway. So, if you have seen my first YouTube video, then you know that I did the Disney College program, and I said I was going to film more. I did not. So, here we are, back home, about a year after that first YouTube video came out. Oops. Oh well, we're back now. All right, so for this video and probably the next few, I'm going to be giving you guys a little recap of how the Disney College program goes. From start to finish, application to leaving Florida, and tell you my experiences and maybe give you some tips if that's something you're interested in doing. Let's get started. All right. I'm probably going to be splitting this up into probably about a 5 video like series because honestly, the Disney College program is a lot, and you're not going to be able to fit that into one video if you want like a full recap of everything. So here's video number one. To start off with, like I said, obviously you have to apply for the Disney College program. Everyone does that at a different time. For me, I applied for the spring program, so I applied in the fall semester. Hopefully that made sense. I know a lot of my friends applied long before me. A lot of my friends actually got accepted before I even applied. I applied very much on a whim. I have the date written down here, September 19th. I was sitting on my college campus, just waiting for my class to start, and just decided to apply for the Disney College program. And I got in, so I guess I made the right choice. Yeah, so actually, I was in my first semester of college, which you have to have one semester of college done before you can even do the Disney College program. I literally did the bare minimum and then went straight to Florida. So if you like Disney, I guess do it like me, but I know some people would not recommend that because I did not get college credit for my program just because of how early on in my college career I did it. But I mean, it's up to you whether it's totally your choice what you want to do when you want to do it, all of it. So I applied on September 19th, like I said, and I think I would have heard back sooner than I did because I made the mistake of having unknown callers blocked on my phone. Turns out you don't want to do that if you're applying for any kind of job like this. Yeah, lesson learned. I finally got the message. I did my phone interview on October 10th. That wasn't that bad. I went out, I sat in my car, and I did it because that was the quietest place that I had at the time. I took my Stitch ears out with me because, I mean, good luck, right? So I sat out in my car, asked, not asked, I answered a bunch of questions and landed me the role. Some questions that were asked. I guess I'll start with one from the application. One of the questions asked on the application was actually, what roles are you interested in? Which I was told before I did the application from somebody who works at Disney that you really want to check all the boxes because even if it's not something that sounds interesting to you, it might get you in the door, in which case you can figure it out from there. So I checked all the boxes, and that got me the phone interview. On the phone interview, I don't remember all the questions that were asked. I do know that because they had my resume there, they were able to look at my previous job experiences. So they asked me some questions about those, and I'm pretty sure that's what landed me my role because I've worked in a lot of food service positions. I got a quick service role during my program. I was gonna say I'm not mad at it, but to be honest, when I got that role to begin with, I was not happy. But as it turns out, my coworkers ended up being a lot like family by the end of it. So don't like don't be too upset about what role you get, because it might turn out way better than you expect. I was told at the end of my interview that I would get a response no later than November 27th. Don't let that scare you. I know that was like over a month and a half after I had my interview, but I heard back by October 12th. So it's really not that bad. It took 2 days for me to get accepted. Once you get accepted, though, that's where it gets really hard because you have a total of 7 days to figure out if you're going to go. And that could be a really big decision. For me, I was 18. I'd never lived outside of my parents' house. I had never lived halfway across the country for sure. So that's really a hard decision to make. And if that's the decision that you are presented with, you might want to know ahead of time what you're going to do. I did not. I was very worried about what I was going to do. But as you know, I accepted and I had a great time. So honestly, I do recommend it, but it's up to you. If it doesn't fit with for you, then don't do it. But I recommend it. So um that was a lot. In those 7 days, you have to accept the offer, complete the forms, and pay the program fee. Um, I know that sounds like a lot. There's not too many forms if I remember right, but you will be busy. And then you also, for the program fee, for me in 2024, I paid this in 2023, but for a 2024 spring program, it cost me $442. Part of it goes towards the program fee, part of it goes towards housing administration fee, and then the last part goes toward rent because your first week there, you are still going to have to pay rent, but you're not going to be working a full-time job yet. You're going to be getting acclimated and you're going to have traditions and you're going to have everything else. So it is nice that you don't have to pay as much rent in that first week. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do in those 7 days. And then you just kind of get random emails throughout the process. The next email that I remember is finding out what role I was getting, which my role, I don't exactly remember the process about this, but you get an email that basically like tells you, okay, go sign into Workday, and that'll tell you your role. It's not very clear. I mean, maybe mine wasn't clear just because I did not know what my role was. Because honestly, I had never been to Satuli Canteen before I started working there, and I was very confused. I started looking up the place and I was like, okay, so I'm in Animal Kingdom, I guess? Yeah, it's a little confusing at times, but I can tell you this much. If it says QSR, it's a quick service role. That's about all I got because that's all I've worked. Um, After that, honestly, I put in my list of things to talk about coming to terms with your role. Like I said, when I first got my role, I wasn't really excited for it. I did not want to do food service for 4 months, which, by the way, turned into 7 months because I loved it and I stayed longer. So you never really know. But once you come to terms with your role, like you probably will end up loving it. And if you don't, hey, it's a short amount of time. You don't have to stay any longer than those 4 to 7 months. So just keep that in mind. And plus, even if it's not the best role, it looks good on your resume. All right. After that, the next thing that I did was finding out my room. So there is a trick to doing this. I don't fully remember it. It has something to do with logging in to see like where you'll get your packages, where you'll get notifications for your packages. I don't know. It didn't really matter to me because I didn't know who my roommates were going to be, so it wasn't a big deal. Um, Honestly, you can figure it out, but unless you're waiting to know who your roommates are, or if you have someone that you tried to room with and you're trying to make sure that you're in the same room, it's not that big of a deal. You're gonna be where you end up. You're not gonna spend a whole lot of time there anyway because you're gonna be at work and you're also probably gonna be at the parks anytime you're not at work. So like, just keep that in mind. It's not that big of a deal. There are three different types of rooms at Flamingo Crossing. I had a 2x2, which means technically I was supposed to be rooming with someone else, but my roommate was just about never home. And my two suite mates, I have some interesting stories, I'm not gonna lie, but I do have one suite mate that I keep in touch with, and we don't talk every day, but we are still friends, and I really hope I get to see her again soon. So if you're watching this, hi girl, I miss you. Um, and after that, packing. You'll be packing. You probably will overpack if you're like me. I took stuff that I did not touch the entire time I was there, and I extended. I stayed for 7 months instead of four, and I still didn't touch stuff the entire time. So you never really know exactly what you need, especially if it's your first time outside of your own home. But do your best. And to be honest, I think I'm probably going to be recording another video that kind of gives a general packing list of what you might want for the Disney College program. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's it for video one. I will be back soon with video number two. That one's going to be over more Disney College program stuff. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And sorry if I'm a fast talker. I'm still not totally comfortable in front of a camera. So yeah. See you guys later. Bye.